Oi. Shuba-duba-dai. This blessed country, oh land of beauty, I pray for thee. Some people have that wrong philosophy that politicians can save a country. They never try and do it spiritually. And now the system exploding on we. The country in a recession, a big change from the old time religion. Mankind rewriting history in a modern but a bad version. We're living in our final days. Take a look and change your ways. For our beautiful country, going back to slavery days, only a prayer for the land can stop drug violence and crime. A prayer for the land, yes, these are the signs of the end of time. A prayer for the land, the price of living, man, is so high. A prayer for the land, that even the rich like the poor cry. You say you're concerned and care, we country living in fear, but all are we born right here. So let's say a prayer, the Almighty Father will hear. And I see
the lives of our life.
Boy. Shuba-duba-dai. Oh God Almighty, show some mercy on this our country. My world standard gone way down the drain. Little children using rum, crack and cocaine. It seems like wicked-itions gone insane, and everyone playing the dirty game. Too much guns and drugs in the country, owned by Tom, Dick and Harry. But if you're wrong, you must pay for it, for the law, no one above it. Put an end to victimization, oppression and segregation. It's not a good thing for this country, so let's try and wipe it out totally with a prayer for the land, of fire and brimstone go burn with it. A prayer for the land, some say they're picking out who should get paid. A prayer for the land, and that's why the prisoners burn down the jail. A prayer for the land, one day it must prevail. Please don't let this country become an next Haiti. No peace, no unity. Bow down humbly, the Almighty will answer it. Oh yeah.
Still alive, still alive.
Shuba-duba-dai. Oh God Almighty, show some mercy on this our country. They now call we terror Paradise Island. No longer a country where peace abound. Yes, I used to boast about my land of beauty, the freest nation with democracy. But now we are the capital for drug pushers and money launderers. Shame and scandal is on we, sink is tarnish universally. Some blame it on the politicians for the unstabilized conditions. We going from bad to worse, our blessed country now cursed. But a prayer for the land, will help us to live with other people. I pray for the land, for that's why the nation in big trouble. I pray for the land, united we stand, divided we fall. I pray for the land, citizens answer your duty call. Righteousness exalts a nation. The most I hate poor man depression. So I'm calling on everyone to take a stand. Take it, listen to my song. Did a bad over boy.
Get alive, get alive.
Shuba duba die. What? This blessed country, oh land of beauty, I pray for thee.
Sounds of the mighty Craig, King Craig the man there. I pray for the land, I pray for the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. I'm DJ Mauricio and I'm coming to you live and direct from the Gaza here in the Boogie Down Bronx. Yes, I'm back in the cold here in the good old US of A, New York City. The rain is pouring on the outside, a bit on the cold side, but DJ Mauricio is here on the inside doing his thing. So this evening we're gonna have a continuation of the program from last week. Had the Honorable Attorney General here with me last week on this platform. It was a great conversation, great dialogue. I appreciate his forthrightness with his response to my questions. Now, I received several calls locally there in the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, thanking me and thanking the Attorney General for giving an update, because if you were to listen to the opposition, you would think nothing have happening since the last year plus, since the new Labour administration took over. So it was good to see that the local folks in the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis was paying keen attention, and they appreciate his appearance. I also received call regionally from the Virgin Islands, St. Martin, Anguilla, Antigua, Montserrat, have some folks in those areas that log on weekly, and they too send some congratulations and thank you to myself and the AG, sorry. Also internationally, getting calls and messages as far as Morocco, the UK, Scotland, Miami, well, Florida in general, various parts of Florida, Canada, Texas, Atlanta. So folks are paying attention, and I realize that this platform is doing more than I actually thought. I didn't realize I was reaching such a wide audience, though I know that I have a big following. Yesterday, just before I depart the Federation, I did a live broadcast from the well there in the Keon area. They said the cabbage tree in Keon where water was found by the bead drilling team, and work is well on its way there to complete the process that you can get the water to the various communities within the area there. But what was funny when I got there and saw the tap and opened the tap to check to see if any water was coming out, without even checking the pressure gauge, I opened the tap, a little water came and stopped. So upon revisiting the situation and checking the equipment out, I realized that the power was turned off, the pump was not operative, but everything is in place and ready to go. You have your service valve in place, you have your pressure gauge, your water meters, everything is there. They're in the process right now of basically building the pump house, what we call the pump house, where we'll house the equipment, like the generators, the pumps and everything like that. So again, I want to say to the good people of St. Kitts Nevis at home, regionally, and in the diaspora internationally, that what Prime Minister Joe and the Labour Party have done in less than 20 months, it's nothing close to amazing. It's way beyond amazing to see what the former administration did in 7+ years, stop the playing around and wasting time. Now they're out there playing the blame game. But like I have said time and time again, the reason why the opposition is in such good position to prosecute the case, the negative atmosphere in the Federation, is because they know what they left there. They know what they left at the various health institutions and most of the JNF hospital. So basically, they're prosecuting based on what they left. But what they have not done is be honest with the people and let the people know how much improvement has taken place at the JNF in the healthcare system since the new Labour administration led by Dr. Terence Chu has been in office. And I know my boy Congress Maynard had been getting some blows, but as the Minister of Public Works, I have to give him some credit. Because again, under the former Team Unity administration, which comprised of the PLP, with Timothy Harris as Prime Minister at the time, leading that party, the PAM, which People's Action Movement, led by Sean Richards, who was the Deputy Prime Minister. And then you had the CCM, Concerned Citizen Movements out of Nevis, who led by Premier Brantley, who is now currently in the federal opposition, who is the leader of the opposition there in the parliament in St. Kitts Nevis. And our people of St. Kitts Nevis, we're going to get deep tonight, you know. Some people might get upset with me because we're going to talk the things that, you know, we're going to have to speak truth to power and make people understand what's going on, because a lot of people out there just sitting around, they was there, they did not do anything, they squandered the money. Now they're playing the blame game. You also have some opposition leaders across there in our sister island. I do not know. They should not be called opposition because they're not opposing anything. They're not doing what an opposition should do. They expect things to just happen instead of making things happen, you know. So we're going to have that conversation this evening. But before we get deep into that conversation, there's a lot of things that happen below the surface, underneath, and people don't want to go deep to do the necessary work. They sit around and wait for the benefit. If you all just look at what is happening currently under the new Labour administration, you would realize that people who was there, not prepared to put in the necessary hard work to get rid of the former slummers, the slummers from the Team Unity. People sit back and accept it. People really free to talk to other people because they don't want to be seen speaking to people like me. They're afraid somebody will go and tell the Prime Minister at the time that you're speaking to Mauritius. So basically, folks used to just see me and wave and keep rolling. But nevertheless, we have a new administration that is doing what they can for the people and for the country. And I must say, big up to Prime Minister Joe and his team for what they're doing. But, you know, I love to do my things through the music. The message is in the music. So let the man Mystic Prowler bring the message to you guys. And once the brother Mystic Prowler have done his stuff, then I'll come back and we'll get right to the meat of things. So stand by for the Mystic Prowler. And this one, I'm going to kick it off at 6:01 p.m. St. Kitts Nevis time. And this one is called Beneath the Surface.
Sometimes I just get angry when I see somebody watch a next man achievement and declare that that was easy. They don't see all the struggle and all the failure. They quickly form allegiance to toast the winner. But in this life there's a truth, and every tree you see have a root. And it's from way below the surface you bring up your fruit. Now Thomas Edison, the light bulb inventor, his 2,000 times he failed before the bulb could light. And when he reached age 67, a fire cost him 2 million. That's when they stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. I say he had the stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Okay, Shaki.
Shed alarm, shed alarm.
They say that pressure, it does make diamonds out of rock. And it's the same with the human character. When our dreams are dumbstruck in a jail, two men looking out through the same bars. One will fail, cause he see mud while the other sees stars. You see, while pressure humbles the meek, it strengthens who earnestly seek. It's the barometer that measures the strong and the weak. Because Martin Luther and South Africa Nelson Mandela, the darkness in their jail cell couldn't dim their lights. And civil rights advocacies only fuel more energies. For the more injustice rages, the more they fight. And for 27 years, Nelson Mandela suffered. And from jail became president of South Africa. You see, Nelson had the stuff that great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Potential, I say he had the stuff that great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface.
Everyone, shed alarm, shed alarm.
This is Caribbean Vibes. This is Caribbean Vibes.
Check any success story, take anyone you wish, and you'll see the road is often littered with blocks and rubbish. But as you clear one hurdle, you will meet another. And as you lift one burden, you'll hit an next gutter. You see, while your progress is slow, your determination must grow. Just affirm and confess the success you already know. Don't you know Elvis Presley was fired by Jimmy Denny? After just one show, he was told, go back and drive truck. And the great Beethoven of music, imagine he was deaf at 46. But that's when he produced his greatest musical stuff. And the great Caruso stood firm by his choice. Although his teacher told him you can't sing and you have no voice. But he had the stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Oh, he had the stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Yeah, Shaki.
Shed alarm, shed alarm.
As a nation, we will do well to train our young, not to adopt a luck and chance approach or a position. For they will dream of easy money and sweet tomorrow. From a get-rich scheme with the 1 in 100,000 ratio. We need to teach foundations of truth. Trees that send down good roots, not parasites that sucks at little gut fruits. Don't you know, Basdale Pandey walk so many miles barefoot to school. Land in England with $6 to take his luck horse. And after Napoleon Airman Robinson, imagine he was shot and in prison. Half blind and dying, he said attack, attack, attack with full force. For such men with belly, leadership was meant. No wonder they're prime minister and president. You see, they had the stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. I say they had the stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface.
The sound of the mystic Paula. You got to look beneath the surface, my good people. Cannot just stay focused like a horse with the gliders on and just dealing with opposition and party politics. We have to deal with what we are supposed to be championing. Country above self. That is the motto that I know that we was taught, and we need to just do what we can. If our ministers of government, whoever they may be, not doing the right thing, speak about it. Try and get them back on that track. But when you see good things, speak about the good things. Let's look beneath the surface and know where these criminals are coming from. I mean, I say criminals, farmer, members of the farmer team unity. They know what they left there. They know what they left there. And they have people within the current administration, leftovers from that administration, that is there for whatever reason. Instead of doing the best they can for our beloved federation, they undermine the government. They're undermining the government. But I left that part of the work up to Prime Minister Joe. He was the one elected to deal with those stuff, because I mean, I would have cleaned house a long time ago, because it's very clear to see what is going on. And you know, some people are going to cry out about everybody have to eat. Everybody have to eat, but everybody have to be honest and do the job in the interest of our beloved federation. So my good people, we're not going to waste any time this evening. Like I said, this program this evening is a continuation from last week. So there are some comments that came into the thread. Most of those folks across in our sister island, Nevis. Whether you might be at home or abroad, I'm going to respond to some of your guys' comments. And basically, the response is going to be the same across the board. Because what is going on there in our sister island, Nevis, is one or two things. Some people either cannot see for themselves, or their eyes are open shut. But I know they're not blind, because they could see me. They say, hello, Marisha, and stuff like that. But when they're going to be every chance they get, hearing a little thing about St. Kitts, what about Nevis, what about Nevis? This is why you have a local administration over there. This is why you have the NIA. During the discussion and agreement with that constitution, Nevis decided they want their rights to do what they want. They don't want to be governed by St. Kitts. They want to have their legal rights to run their affairs. They was given that. That was done under PAM, People's Action Movements, and the NRP combination. It was Prime Minister Sir Kennedy Simmons at the time, and Brother Daniel there, that was the Premier of Nevis. And that constitution went into effect. And Nevis to me get the best of it. Nevis got the best of the constitution. Because Nevis can walk away from St. Kitts as they wish. St. Kitts cannot walk away from Nevis. Nevis can secede, they can call a referendum and leave. But like anything else, some people stick around because they cannot stand on their own 2 feet and they need your help. But as Dwyer said some time ago, Dwyer said to me, Jeffrey, don't be fooled. If Nevis could have stand on their own 2 feet, they would have gone and leave St. Kitts a long time. They're only still here. And I hate to see politicians drive that wedge between our islands or between our people. A lot of people in St. Kitts and Nevis, they're from. A lot of the families that I know in St. Paul's, where I grew up, they come to St. Kitts, never went back. So this secession talk and this clause 113 that they keep trying out there whenever they're not having their way, I don't understand. And I'm going to say it again tonight, I'm going to start off on that track tonight. All the nights hearing about Premier Brantley doing this, Premier Brantley doing that, Premier Brantley not doing this, Premier Brantley not doing that. Them opposition, they ain't doing nothing either. They're not doing nothing to show that they're ready to do different to Premier Brantley. They're showing the same things to me. The weak and lazy. Premier Brantley showed me weakness and laziness. Because if Premier Brantley was not so weak and lazy, a lot more things would have been done for Nevis. The opposition is showing me the same thing because with everything that has been taking place, if the opposition was not so lazy and baffled and, Brantley would have been gone. They had 5 opportunities from December 12, 2022 to get rid of CCM. And they fumbled every time. And nobody could tell me nothing different because DJ Marisha embedded himself into the NRP construct, embedded himself into the Nevis affairs. Up to when some of them telling me to come, they need my help. Some cousins, I did not know, they behind me back cussing me. Say I too forceful. They want to do it themselves. Every successful man in life today, you would hear it. Every successful man, there was a woman behind them, helping them, and they didn't do it on their own. So don't be like my baby girl. My baby girl, every time I tried to help my baby girl, she said, Daddy, self. Daddy let me do it myself. And I could understand that because she's ambitious and she wants to try to do things herself. If you, opposition and Nevis, would only take a page out of my baby girl book and say, let's do it, you'll be successful because my baby girl is successful, I just love my baby girl, Just a couple of weeks ago there when I make birthday, my baby girl sing me a lovely birthday song, a lovely rendition. If I were to put her up against Premier Brantley today, Nevis, she might win the election. And you got going adults down there, don't even know where to start to deal with the matter. So let me say good evening to some folks here. My brother there, the man, Lincoln Hobson, aka the DJ Rabook. How are you doing, my brother? Hope all is well with you. I want to big up my boy there, the man, Elvin Hanley. I guess he find somewhere back from the boondocks. I spoke to him earlier. Thanks for your assistance, my brother. Hope the wife is taking care of you. Good to know that you're still around town. Good evening, Veronica Roberts. Hope all is well. Evan Jeffers, Petrona Ballot, Iona Doe, Tamika Salid, Jetty Taylor, Patrick Brown. Hope all is there. Romelo Jeffers, which part in the world are you, my brother? Hope all is well with you. Paul Francis, good evening. Gemini Nisbet. Sandra Merritt, welcome to the ride. The man Ivor Henry. Hope all is well with you. Also want to big up Sister Ermin Farrell. Livingston Brown, how are you doing, my brother? Hope all is well with you. Hilla Brown there in the VI. Hope all is well with you. Iona Doe. Lorette Wharton, how are you doing? I heard you say I was by your house yesterday, but you could have at least came out and offered me some breakfast. I didn't see nobody come out. Tiny Herbert, hope all is well with you. Yes, Beverly Marisha, good evening. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Sister Gwyneth Marisha, good evening. My brother there, brother Jeff Pemberton. Leonis Charles, you've been missing in action. How are you doing? Hope all is well. The movement is still here moving things. Clayton Davis, good evening. Hope all is well with you. Good evening, Sister Lynn. How are you doing? Hope all is well. The man King Sorby. I want to take this opportunity to big up my boy Dwyer. Had the opportunity to hang with Dwyer there on Monday. Dwyer decided to take the DJ and King Sobi out for lunch. We had a very good lunch, very good conversation. So I want to thank Brother Dwyer for the wisdom that he instilled in me. You know, we have our little chit chat, our little debates here and there. But at the end of the day, we'll finish the conversation with an understanding, never a vexation, but an understanding. So big up to the man Dwyer. Also want to big up my boy there, Brother Ellis Hazel. He as well had a good conversation with Brother Ellis yesterday before my departure of the Federation. So Brother Ellis, again, thank you for your continued support and everything like that. A lot to talk about this evening, people. But before we get into the chatter, let's take some time out and take a listen to the Honorable J.A. Dwyer Astafan. And we'll come right back to you. Good evening, Sister Doris Edwards. How are we doing? Hope all is well.
Greetings. A lot of people have shared their views on last week's commentary. And all of them, every single one of them, agreed that the solar power project should be owned by the people of this country. For them, the project is very important personally, as well as historically, economically, and politically. And I want everybody to know how they feel about it, including Energy Minister Conris Maynard, who, in response to a question on the solar project put to him by a member of his audience at a Constituency 3 branch meeting some months ago, allegedly responded by saying that if Dwyer Astafan wants the project to be locally owned, then maybe Dwyer Astafan could tell the government where the money would come from. Now, as most of you will recall, and I've said this before, the project was a major issue in the last election. And at that time, Mr. Maynard, then a candidate in search of a seat, which he had previously won and then lost, never sounded as dismissive or at least as unenthusiastic about the idea of local ownership as he sounds now. I wonder if anything might have changed between then and now. If Mr. Maynard did indeed say that I could tell the government where to find the money, then let me tell him where the government can find the money. The money would come from the same people, poor, not so poor, rich and not so rich, the same businesses, micro, small, medium, large, and extra large, and the same institutions, whose money, through taxes and other government fees and charges, pays his salary and allowances. The money would come from natural-born citizens in the form of investment, citizens by descent, citizens by marriage, and citizens by naturalization, wherever they may be, whether in the Federation or in the diaspora. If Mr. Maynard said what he is alleged to have said, then maybe he does not understand or appreciate, or maybe he's fatally misjudging the capital and investment power and potential and the desire and aspirations of Kitishans and divisions at home and abroad. Now tell me, which leader would not want to unleash such great power and potential and feed that power and potential, feed the aspirations and the desires of our people? Which leader would not want that? And what better way to do so than in investing in renewable energy in their own country? This would be an historic moment and an historic step forward for this country. So the money would come from you, our citizens, our institutions, and our businesses. Whether you are in Parsons or Paris, Newcastle or New York, Camps or Charlotte or Mali, Phillipses or Phillipsburg, wherever you may be. Once you're a natural born, a citizen by descent, citizen by marriage, a citizen by naturalization, you should be eligible to invest in shares in this operation. And I say that your money can be used and is acceptable to pay Mr. Maynard's and other people's salaries, as I've said earlier, and to pay other government expenses. So why is it not acceptable and can be used for your own empowerment by buying your shares and ownership of the solar project? Why somebody else and not you? who is pontificating and determining, without having done exhaustive and sincere research, that you are unable to do this. And this is what great leaders do. They create the environment and mechanisms to empower, enrich, and steer economic and social prosperity to the people. Is Mr. Maynard saying that despite the efforts of himself and others, past and present, he and they have failed to deliver to you sufficient prosperity that would allow you as a people to own a project of this scale or nature? And if so, has he thrown his hands in the air in defeat? Either way, he is doing himself no favors when it comes to this extremely important matter, nor is he doing his colleagues any favors. I, for one, want our people to be protected and nurtured, not abandoned and discarded by our leaders. Our people need leadership that never relents and is willing to die for the cause in providing and ensuring empowerment and fulfillment and setting the stage for people to live with dignity and honor. We deserve and we demand no less. Whether Mr. Maynard may be unable or unwilling to see it, all of those persons who have, over the past week, given feedback on the matter, whether to me directly or to others, all of them, and many, if not most of you who are silent publicly on the matter, but you agree quietly, all of them and many of you believe that the money can and should be raised among our people, our institutions, and our businesses. I'm talking about the wide cross-section of people here and abroad, petitions and divisions in the institutions, in business, in society. Maybe some guidance can come for this investment from the central bank as well as to setting up structures. Resources are there to guide us along the right path. We can't just turn our backs on these resources. We cannot turn our backs on the people. Generations yet unborn will scoff at us if we do not do the right thing now. And even if in the unlikely event that all of the money cannot be raised locally for the 35 megawatts, then people are saying maybe we can start with 10 to 12 megawatts and scale up as we go over the next 3 to 5 years until we reach the 35 megawatts or whatever is the prescribed megawattage, the capacity that we need as a young developing nation going progressively and proactively forward. Some of the feedback I'm getting says that Social Security can be a significant investor. After all, it has hundreds of millions of dollars, your dollars, sitting in the National Bank, earning very little interest. Better can be done. This is one way of ensuring that better can be done. Social Security itself can invest your money in the project. Some folks tell me that the National Bank has hundreds of millions of dollars invested overseas, and that as part of its and government's commitment to national development and to the empowerment and prosperity of our people, a portion of those hundreds of millions of dollars ought to be and needs to be invested, whether as equity or loan, in local renewable energy development and other vital and sound projects. In addition, the National Bank and other banks and credit unions and lending institutions can launch attractive and empowering programs to loan our people money to buy shares in this project. If you can lend people money to buy a Carnival costume, you surely can find a way to lend them money to buy shares in their solar project. We are enriching and empowering our people. That is our sacred duty. The resources are here. Yes, they are limited, but we are not doing anywhere near as much as we ought to for the economic and patrimonial development of our people with what we have. And if we do so, we'll be fine. This is not rocket science. All it takes is a little bit of reasoning and the will and the respect for the aspirations of the people and for the people's right to prosperity in this the land of their birth or adoption. Imagine how joyful and glorious this place can be if and when we reach that point. I would add that if Nevis's efforts at delivering geothermal power succeed in the short to medium term, and if that project is locally owned, as I'm told it will be, then based on reliability and quality of supply and on pricing, we in St. Kitts might be in a better position to see how much solar capacity we actually need here on the ground, and when so, we might need that additional capacity. So it might be wiser to scale up on a well thought out basis, bringing on, if and as you need, the additional megawatts to bring us up to 35 or whatever that magic number is. Of course, central to our thinking on this, in terms of Nevis geothermal being locally owned, is that I don't mean that just the Nevis Island administration should own it. Instead, the people of this country and our local businesses and institutions must be given top priority for ownership, especially the less financially well-off citizens and our young people. The Prime Minister wants to breed a new culture of entrepreneurs and investors. He has set up this investment program, the $1,000 per child. Brilliant idea. This forms part of that idea. To separate the two would be sacrilegious and would represent a less than convincing approach as articulated by the Prime Minister. People would not be convinced, like you're giving with one hand and taking with the other. So here we are at a crossroads. Shame on us if we sit idly by and allow our patrimony and pride, our dignity and honor, our desires and aspirations for happy, prosperous lives to be stolen from us. I say no more. Thank you.
Then you. I can't.
Okay. So that was the commentary for today, Wednesday, 6 March, coming from the Honorable G.A. Dwyer Astafan. Very informative commentary, very powerful commentary. But if you guys paying attention weekly to Dwyer's commentaries, Dwyer caught me off guard with his comment about the geothermal and Nevis. Not too long ago, during the political campaign, I can recall having Dwyer Astafan and Sam Kanda on this broadcast, along with Sister, the Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge. And while Janice was speaking about the possibility of geothermal being realized on Nevis, and I think she was speaking about NRP started it and the CCM basically did not support whatever, and it was a long history behind it. Dwyer was very adamant that geothermal will not be realized on Nevis in our lifetime. And based on what the information I gathered, I still feel the same way. I feel strong about it. But it appears as though that Dwyer have a change of heart, that there might be something around the corner. Based on how things have been done and how the goalpost has been moving on Nevis with information, I don't have too much confidence in anything coming from the Nevis end when it's come to Premier Bentley. Last week, as I said, I had the Honorable Attorney General here, Garth Wilkin, and he was giving some great updates on the accomplishments of the Labour administration that he's a part of. And throughout the evening, there was many comments. I screenshot some of them here, and I'm going to respond to your individuals tonight, And if you guys don't want me to respond to your comments, basically then don't comment, because this program is here to converse. You give me your thoughts, I give you my thoughts, I get some education, and we see how best we can deal with stuff. And I'm seeing some mixed responses from Univisions, and I think we have to really be honest with ourselves. Whether you support the Labour Party, you support the People's Action Movements, you support the PLP, you support whoever the oppositions are, because I understand there's about 3 oppositions on Nevis now, or you support the CCM. If you guys do not call out these politicians when they're screwing up, messing up the country, messing with the funds, you are not doing any justice to the country or to the future of the country, I have always said that had we come earlier, I had to deal with the knockabout that our forefathers and mothers got. The rape and the beating and the savage treatment, we would not have survived it. So why are we taking advantage and being so unconcerned about what is happening in our Bill of Federation? I'm calling on you all divisions to stop blaming everybody except yourselves for what is happening at Nevis. Because what is happening at Nevis is a direct result of your division selfish behavior, starting with that constitution. You divisions decided that we are going into independence, and by doing so, you do not want Batcha, Simmons, and nobody in Nevis, in St. Kitts, sorry, determine your future and how to spend your money in Nevis. So there was a transactional arrangement between Simi and Daniel, the then NRP, and the PAM, the People's Action Movement led by Kennedy Simmons and St. Kitts. The Constitution was approved and we went into independence in 1983. Out of that Constitution came a clause 113 that if Nevis see fit that they don't want to no longer be a part of the federal government, they don't want to be a part of the federation, they have the right to leave. They can have a referendum and leave at will, just like Anguilla left us. Remember, I used to be saying it's Nevis Anguilla. Anguilla leave in 67, whenever that problem they had. So the division decided they want to run their affairs. But every time things are not going right, St. Kitts get blamed. The people in St. Kitts get blamed. When you have a premier, you got a local NIA government that govern the affairs of Nevis. And you have oppositions that should be holding their foot to the fire. And I will continue to say, they are either no opposition or the opposition is weak and they're lazy. I am speaking from experience. The opposition is weak and they're lazy. Because I've heard so much talk. And I see some comments here tonight. I'm not even going to touch the comments tonight that I'm seeing tonight. I'm going to deal with the last week comments. Because the comments I'm hearing tonight is the opposition is speaking out. But the people this, the people that. Well, if you, the opposition, are speaking out, and you cannot mobilize the people to get them on the street and make an impact, to show the current government or the current administration that the people are unhappy, what do they have to worry about? They don't have nothing to worry about because they're hearing one or two, I would say, disgruntled persons in the oppositions talking. There are comments on a Monday night. There are comments on a Thursday evening. There are comments on a Saturday afternoon. What do you all really think? Coming on social media, coming on the radio and telling Premier Brantley, oh, we don't want you. Resign. Give it up. You all really think that's going to work? You all really think they're going to change a government and need this? If you all feel that way, I want to sell you all government headquarters on Church Street because that belongs to DJ Mawish, eh? If you all really think by telling Premier Brantley, come out of office, the people don't want you. If you all think that's going to work, I have a building to sell you on Church Street. There's a big sign and there's a government headquarters. I will sell it to you for a minimal fee. But what I'm going to say to you all tonight, all of you supporters of the opposition, whether it may be the NRP, Cleona, whoever, right? You all need to get you all act together and stop blaming everything and what's going on in St. Kitts. There was a federal election. During that federal election, this young man, DJ Mawisha, reached out to the leader of NRP, the Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, about making a position clear so that we know we're not going to have a Timothy around. And Janice Daniel Hodge said to DJ Mawisha, you know, the NRP policy is not to get involved in the St. Kitts affair. Whoever is elected on St. Kitts, we will work with them. I had a problem with that response. But that was her position. That was the NRP's position, right? So we went into a federal election with the Concerned Citizen Movement, CCM, led by Mark Brantley, teaming up with the People's Action Movement, PAM, to campaign to form a government for the federal election. That is what we had. While Labour reached out to Dr. Drew, leader of the Labour Party, reached out to NRP to say, well, let's work together. And he was shunned. He was turned down point blank. Prime Minister Drew came back and said to his colleague, we got to go at this alone. We're not getting the support from NRP, so we have to go at this alone. So what happened then? On the 5th of August, 2022, we all know the result. Labour claimed the government with 6 seats. The former Unity, all of them end up in opposition. But look at what happened. While Premier Brantley campaigned and said he's supporting his brother Sean K. Richards and the People's Action Movement, I was down there in Virtues and the field listening to Premier Brantley talking his thing in. And he poured his heart out for his love for Sean Richards, his love for Pam. He said Pam was the best thing since sliced bread for the Federation. Pam did everything, Labour did not do anything. And Mark Brantley, Premier Brantley, campaigned hard for the People's Action Movement. Nobody had to wonder where Mark Hart was. We knew he campaigned against the Labour government. Now, government change. The NRP did not want a seat at Nevis. The people wanted a different approach. What the people wanted, NRP did not show the people that they're capable of doing. I am of the view, had NRP stood up and said we are in support of the Labour Party, we will not support Timothy Harris based on what transpired in the former administration, NRP would have won a few federal seats, 1 or 2. But again, the leader of the NRP, they did not take the opportunity that was given to them, and the people made that decision. And it doesn't matter which supporter of NRP or the opposition want to cuss. I want to give the opinion. These are the facts. The NRP squandered a perfect opportunity. I am hearing, and I'm of the view, that they was in the best position. Government was there for the taking. Fast forward. Let's fast forward from the federal election. Come the local. I observe the infight from the outside, without seeing a fight. I observed the fight. I spoke to members of the Nevis for Nevis Foundation here in New York. And I could call the name. All they got to do is take me under the clock down by the memorial. I spoke to Gene Sider. I spoke to Hazel Claxton. I spoke to Deli Keynes about my observation that the NRP team was not together. I saw them over there at the Church Hall on Castle Hill, where they had the fundraiser and meeting that I broadcast. You could see that Cleon was not in sync with the team. You could see that none of them, to me, look like everybody doing their own thing. You cannot be playing a team sport and you're playing your own game, you're going to lose the game. Whether it's football, cricket, soccer, whatever. If you're playing a team sport, domino, you're on a domino table. Only one person can win at a time. If your partner playing to win and you're playing to win, you all lost the game. Somebody have to pivot. You have to give, right? So the problem that NRP is having now, the problem that the opposition is having now, is fighting themselves. They have been shooting themselves in the foot from the inception that I've been observing them. And who don't like what I'm saying, tough. But these are the facts. If you all don't want the Jamari to respond to all you, do not come in on this program and put nothing in the thread, because I'm going to respond to all you. I have been staying quiet, but once you are going to come here and start attacking the Attorney General and tell him to suck egg and all this kind of stuff when he's giving updates on Nevis, get your updates from Premier Brantley. He's the leader of Nevis. fight down the folks in the local NIA. They are the one that run the day-to-day operations of Nevis. You guys have asked for the Prime Minister to come across to Nevis and do a town hall. I'm in favor of that. I am in favor of that. And the Prime Minister have said to me, Jeffrey, I have heard the people, I've heard your comments, and I'm going to put that in place. The problem that we are having is that there is no outright opposition leadership on Nevis. So we have to handle things a certain way. I have to touch base with this group and that group and coordinate to make sure that we are not causing any problem on Nevis. Because Nevis, according to the Constitution, runs their fear. Is you, the people of Nevis, cause this? Is the opposition, whether you want to say NRP, Cleon, whoever, cause this problem? Not Prime Minister Joe, not the AG, not Dr. Douglas, not DJ Mawisha. You all understand? I was scheduled to come to St. Kitts for Carnival in 2022. Premier Brantley announced the elections a little early. He called it for the 12th of December. I normally come in on the 15th, 16th, somewhere around there. I decide I will be a self-appointed observer for the elections because I was well in the campaign and I have an issue with what was going on. So guess what? DJ Mawisha changed his ticket. Was at a heavy cost to change my ticket to fly into St. Kitts on the 10th of December. And again, I want to thank the NFA, the Vision for Nevis Group, because Mr. G. Sider and his team, Hazel and them, they linked with me and gave me some funds to assist with paying for the change of my ticket. I flew down to St. Kitts that Saturday, on the 10th of December 2022. I came across to Nevis on the 11th of December. I booked a room at the Wally Hotel. I want to thank my girl there, Sister Faith, and the crew at the Wally Hotel for accommodating me. I booked my room and decided I will observe the elections at Nevis because the government was there for the taking by the NRP. And up until today, I don't have to say I don't understand how they lose. I know they lose, they were lazy. They didn't do their work. And I'm going to explain to you why I said this. I might not have seen it at the time, but as I pay attention and listen to the radio back and forth, and I'm looking at everything that transpired, there's some things that took place that just did not make sense. That Sunday, the 11th of December 2022, there was an event at Occasions, a property that is owned by Patricia Bartlett. It was for the incoming nationals, an appreciation event, which was good. When I got over to Nevis, I always make my first stop at my girl Muffet Slack, at Slack liquor store there in Charlestown. So I stopped there, chatting with Muffet. My next stop would have been over by her brother, Mikey Slack, at the bakery, get something to eat and do my thing. But because I was in communication with one of those activists for the NRP, Brother Alvan Brown. That is how I met Alvan Brown during the campaign. One of the activists that had some issues with me calling out the NRP for their weakness and not doing certain things. And we became close. And when I called Brother Alvan Brown, he asked me where I was. I tell him I'm by Muffet Slack liquor store. He said, okay, don't leave, I'm coming for you. And Brother Brown came to Muffet Slack and collect me there. And that is the same day I met Carbo, you know. You all might think I know Carbo 20 years, but it's because of Alvan Brown is how I met Carbo. When we come out from Muffet heading to the vehicle, and Carbo said he's cooking some goat water and whatever. And Alvan tell him he'll bring me over there and whatever. And I went there. Taste the goat water and realized. As a matter of fact, I see everything done from scratch because Brother Carbo took me into the fig walk and cut a green banana and do his seasoning and everything. So I watched the operation, watch him do everything from scratch, and when he finished and he gave me my bowl right in the backyard, I said, well, okay, this is it, you know. this is goat water. So I had to, I started promoting my boy Carbo from there. But before we got to Carbo, you know, I asked Alvan to do me a favor. I wanted to get in touch with this lady, the former junior minister of health. And Alvan took me straight to her house. And the reception was great. You know, we had a good conversation, and we spoke about what she said and her clips and everything like that. And we decided to link up later and whatever, but she had family and friends over. It was a busy time, so schedule did not meet up like we're supposed to. But let's fast forward. When we left from Boy Cabo, after having a good afternoon, the next stop was to Occasions, where I was I carried the event live there as well. And while we're there at Occasions, somebody came and said, there's some activities at the Electoral office in Charleston. Right away, I packed my cameras, tell Alvan, let's go. We head down to the Electoral office. And we went down there, and there was a lot of nonsense going on down there. Police was called, some citizens was there making noise about what's going on. But up until today, those politicians who was running for office for the NRP, they're up at Occasions. Up until this moment, I'm sitting here speaking to you. Not one of them make a move to come down to the Electoral office to check on what's happening down there. When I say not one of them, not one of them. When I got down there and set up my camera and everything, they closed the door how long the shutters are running in the back. Now, I always believe, my grandparents taught me, if you're not doing something wrong, where you're running for line, where you're hiding for. So if they was not doing anything wrong, why they lock me out of the building, close the door, pull in the shutters and call police? Anyway, that is the first sign I see of the operation on Nevis. The NRP was not ready for the fight, wasn't ready for the goal. Because what happened on Nevis was happening on St. Kitts. What happened on Nevis with the election was happening on St. Kitts. On St. Kitts, we had electoral office move from area to accommodate, bringing in influencers to change the outcome of the election. But myself, Dwyer Astafan, Sam Kanda, and a couple of other people, Curtis Cook, Big Steve, name it. A group of us gathered and circled around and supported Marsha Henderson in that area. We decided nobody going to make this happen. Nobody going to take what is ours. And we stayed up there and keep them off. They even tried to close the Electoral office, the polling station, over early that night. Said the law. Well, you got hundreds of people on line outside. One of the observer, wherever he from, decided they're going to close at 6 o'clock. And I had to take them on and tell them no. The office opened late in the first place. People are here in line. And whatever the law say is the law. But people have been online all day. And because the system was screwed up, people did not get to vote, and they have to vote. They're here. You can say no one else can join the line, but the people that is on the line have to vote. And we stayed here, and I think we all know the end result of that. I say all of that to say this. I have the highest respect for Carlisle Powell and Kelvin Daly as individuals. I have no malice for them. My issue with Carlisle Powell and Kelvin Daly is that Mark Brantley makes some observation, and I believe Mark Brantley is correct. They are the biggest talkers. They know the law. They can prosecute well. They have all of the information and all of the ideas. But to put in the work, they don't. And I say that to say this. When I left from Occasions that evening, I was told that they will have a final meeting, I think is in Fountain, the night before the election. Right? And I decided to go back to Owali to take a shower and change up, to go back to the occasion, to go back across by the meeting. I did not go back up there because when I'm about to get to the area to get to the hotel, over at the taxi pier there, where those ships come in from Reggae Beach, over there were like a carnival. Hundreds of people over there with suitcase. They are not nationals of St. When I say not nationals, they are not our local people. The skin color, you can see they are from a different country. They are not from there. Their faces, the suitcase, they still have tags on them. The cars, the buses. And to make matters worse, what CCM was doing, they did not hide it. My boy Astro and them was there in the blue garbs with their logo, with their CCM logo, with the operation, coordinating, getting people from here to there. These are facts. The amount of people that was at the taxi pay over at Wally could have changed any election in Nevis. Where was the NRP people to stand up against that? That couldn't happen in St. Kitts. They tried that in St. Kitts and we shut it down. We shut it down in St. Kitts. But in Nevis, they stayed home and allow everything to be the way it is. But now, you're blaming the government, the federal government, you're blaming Prime Minister Chu, you're blaming God Wilkin. It does not matter what they put up against you during that period of Nevis. Had you Nevis people come out and stand up for your right, there would not be a CCM government today. But while you're all there fighting amongst yourselves, because we now know that it was internal fight within all of them. Not just Cleon, throughout the NRP, there was internal fights. And I think there are still internal fights. Right? But according to the news, DJ Mawisha is too forceful. Well, if you guys was half as forceful as DJ Mawisha, you already take your backside over to the Uwali taxi pier and shut down the operation. And you all would have had a different result. You want to have JD losing by 20-something votes and them nonsense. Right? Only one more seat you all needed to form the government. And you all had the opportunity to take the government and you all screw it up. I went live the morning of the election, you know. I went live the morning of the election, the 12th of December, at 5 a.m. from 5 to 7 from the Owali. My guest was Carlisle Powell. And my lives are on social media. You know. You could go and see it for yourself. If you want to tell me I am lying, go and see it for yourself. Carlisle Powell had a set of paper and he told me up to that time, at 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, whatever, the morning of the elections, there are people that still did not know where to go and vote. They did not know where the polling station was. And NRP sit back and accept that. They sit back and accept that. Polling station move from here to there and all of the nonsense in a short space of time. We ain't God world. You're going to tell me that was right. But who was I? Who was I to tell NRP what to do and what not to do? The leadership of the NRP was poor. I didn't see it then. I'm seeing it now because I experienced, I was there. I see where all of the mistakes, I take a step back and I start to evaluate and examine what could have went wrong. And there's so many things that went wrong. But who to blame is the leadership or whoever advising the leadership of the NRP. But I bring the Attorney General here to give a quick update and you all cussing him off. What do you have to do with it? If you are lazy backside and Nevis had came out and do your part, if you want government, you would have been in government. Nobody going to come and bring government and give it to you. You know, I listen to many of you. You all are very good talkers. You all could convince who you want. But this young man, this freedom fighter, was embedded, and I saw, I can speak now, and I could challenge any one of you. And if this is the way you are going to continue your business, just talk on the radio week after week, CCM ain't got in a place. If this is the way you are going to come and my podcast, any podcast, and just cuss people that is talking about the good things that is happening in St. Kitts, I'm not going to change nothing on Nevis. I want to see good for the people of Nevis. I believe there should be a change of government in Nevis. But who will make that change? Election done. All of your opportunities to do anything to change the direction from December 12, 2022, you all mess up every one of them. You fumble them. So unless you all get on the streets or put pressure on the current government, because you all have enough information, you know. You all have enough to call election next month, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, if you want. But not with the current leadership, not with the current attitude. Something have to change. You're either going to have to change attitude or change the leadership. You cannot do the same thing every day and expect a different result. You cannot do that. And listen, tonight I'm coming out from a long one, eh? I normally bowl from 8 steps, but I'm bowling from 12 tonight because I've been waiting for some of y'all so out there, sitting back, not doing anything, have a lot to say. But the reality is, you are the ones screwing up, right? So don't come and tell me that the opposition is talking, but nobody listening. Well, if the opposition is talking and nobody listening, which means they have no interest in you. Change course, change candidates, change people. That means they don't want you. Because it will take a majority of people to change what's happening on Nevis. You understand? It takes a majority of people. I heard on one of the talk show that comes on Thursday evening and Saturday afternoon, made a comparison that, as a matter of fact, Brother Daly, he have always said it, and he said it enough that I believe he believe it. He said Nevis people don't like to march. They don't demonstrate. But in the same breath, I think Tulu or Henry Daniel pick him up. And all of them agreed that Nevis people march because when NRP wins some time back, Premier Brantley was able to bring a group of people on the road to demonstrate illegally, without permission. I almost killed Dr. Douglas in Nevis, I understand. So, if Premier Brantley, Vance Army, God bless his soul, was able to bring people on the street to march, NRP need to ask the question, why can't we get people involved? What are you doing other than having breakfast sale and fundraisers? The same people that you are going out to sell tickets to for fundraisers or whatever sale, if they're not happy with the government and Nevis, don't you all invite them for a little demonstration to Charlestown? Don't you all invite them for a little demonstration up at the office by the Premier? Don't you all ask them for a little demonstration down at the, when they have assembly, the NIA assembly? You know, the thing that really make me start questioning every one of those candidates, you know, I had a lot of love and a lot of respect for Patricia Bartlett. I look at her as someone who should take leadership of the NRP. But when I heard her on a program saying she ain't had no problem standing up down at the assembly by herself, nobody else had to be there. Sister Bartlett, you were smoking something, no? You were smoking something when you said that? No one of you could change government by yourself, you know? You need internal help, you need external help. You all don't have to worry about DJ Mawisha. DJ Mawisha had done his stint, and DJ Mawisha is good. Because I always hear my grandparents tell me, nothing beat a trial but a failure. You all cry out for help. I offer my help. And what I get was a spit in the face. And you know something? Why are you talking about that? Let me bring my boy Sobe in the mix. Because there's a saying, you know, ungratefulness And gratefulness is what's our witchcraft. And a lot of you out there, and not just the vision, you got some ungrateful people in St. Kitts, No matter what you do for them, it ain't good enough. And then I want to help yourself. You must do the work and they must benefit. So I'm going to let Sobi tell you all about this. Okay, King Sobi, come in. Yeah, man. You look like Sobi, guys. Yeah, man.
You will give 100% of kindness, and all you'll get in return is enemy. When man heart is corrupt, it's resistance to love and change. Even when the atmosphere calm and quiet, they shall possess hostility. But it's the nature of the people that surround you. They will come and eat and drink and then go talk you. They always running their mouth on somebody. Those good for nothing bastards. Where I say, all you better mark their faces.
Yeah.
Hey, like that day. Hey, danga dang dang day. Try to see if I can find out why. Every time a black man waves 1 foot off the ground, is the next black man right there to pull him down. You work so hard, just get something in life they wish you bad. And all of a sudden jealousy and envy, they start wondering who you think you be. Man, they diss you family. Nature of the people that surround you. They will come and eat and drink and then go pong you. And always wishing the worst for somebody. No good for nothing bastards. Where I say, all you better mark their faces.
Come on.
Hey, land and day. Hey, danga dang dang day. Companies, you will be infested with fleas and you will surely suffer. Those parasites, they are hypocrites and parasites. Man, they will use you for everything you have, and when you got nothing left to give, they target another victim. What is the nature of the people that surround you? So they lie wicked and bad, so they envy. And always looking to prey on somebody. No good for nothing bastard. Where I say, all you better mark your faces. Hey, land and day.
Yes, that's the King Sobe. I love that song. I see my boy here, Officer Henry. My boy Ivor Henry is in. So let me see what Ivor is putting in. Ivor says, DJ, unless God clean up the electoral office, he and Labour ain't doing one thing. It will it will come back to haunt them if they don't clean up the list and change the boundaries. Now, I guess Ivor is one of them at his convenience. He's not paying attention to the conversation. I have had the Prime Minister on this program on several occasions, and he spoke about the process in which the electoral office will be addressed. Last week, I asked God the question again, and he responded in the affirmative. The electoral office is governed by the Electoral Commission, not Garth Wilkin. Though it's part of the Attorney General's office or system or whatever, there is a commission that deals with the electoral system, not God. And you guys need to stop lock on to these false narrative. Look beneath the surface. Use your common sense. Remember that Patchy said 98% of you all and 95% of you all will fail the common sense test. And they are proven that because you all listen to him and Timothy and them and the People's Action Movement and them losers in the opposition. Bringing this false narrative and you all fall for it. There is an electoral commission that deals with the electoral office. Whatever is going on in St. Kitts is one thing. But again, the lazy NRP leaders, the lazy NRP candidates, I hope they're hearing me. I ain't sending a message to them. I'm talking plain for them to hear me. The lazy NRP leaders, when I say leaders, I mean those who advise us, those who on radio talking the things, was able to mobilize people. And listen to the word, mobilize the people. You all have these fundraisers. I hear you all sometimes say you're selling tickets and people sponsoring this, sponsoring that. If you all will get up off your backside, raising monies, selling breakfast, selling lunches, does not change government. It's part of the process to get some money in. But the immediate concerns that you all have, I hear somebody say that people who did 10 years is on the voters list. But tell me something. If you can prove people died 10 years ago, was on the voters list in 2022, if you all can prove that, shouldn't you all be in front of a judge, bringing some kind of case to deal with this matter, to examine the list that was used in the 2022 election? If you guys are saying these things and these things are facts, shouldn't you guys be out there in front of a judge saying, here is the facts? The last Electoral Commission election that transpired in 2022, we had 10, 20, 30, 40 people who was dead that voted in this election. Who voted for them? Stop just talking the talk. Walk the walk. If the Nevis people, if the leaders in the NRP or the leaders in the opposition and Nevis feel that strong about changing the operation at the electoral office, why they ask you all in down there demonstrating? Why you all down the plaques and go in front of the assembly? Why you all are not pushing pressure on the present NIA? They're the one responsible for Nevis. Why you all are not down Church Street demanding that the federal government get involved? You all come down for CPL. You all come down for Sugar Mass. You all come down for all kind of activities. I see Janice Daniel in St. Kitts all the time back and forth for meetings. With the same way you all could coordinate people to do everything else. Why they ask you all kind of people together to make these changes? It's not the responsibility of Prime Minister Joe I got willing to fight, you all fight. Get up and fight. And Ivor, you know, I have you ever St. Paul's, man, you know. You spend a lot of time here in St. Paul's as a police. You're one of the people that shaped my life as a little boy, you and Vasquez and them. And I know you're a sensible man. I know you're a sensible person. So do not feed in to these narratives of party politics. Let's deal with the common sense structure. Let's deal with sense. Let's talk sense, whatever, right? Let the NRP, if they are the people that's supposed to take government in Nevis, change the approach. I have always been of the view that Carlisle Powell, a good gentleman as he is, I think he's in the wrong role as leader of the NRP. You know, I see him doing cricket stuff and whatever stuff. He's good at doing that. I don't see Carlisle Powell as no leader of NRP, because if Carlisle Powell was any leader, Carlisle Powell and I would have sit down and have a conversation about the structure and what they're doing. You know, coming on a radio station, or a TV station, or a social media, 3 days a week to point out all the wrong that the government is doing and the people not responding. Is the people change government? Not Prime Minister Joe, not God Winkin, not Jeffrey Marisha, not DJ Marisha. The people change government. And if all of these things are wrong on Nevis, and not if, we know. We got the hospital room there sitting watching us daily. And you all ease up on it. The premier come and give you all some bullshit story, and you all ease up on it, you all accept it. The airport, only God knows what's going on over there. The Wally Pier, only God knows what's going on over there. But I am hearing now from some of your supporters who is prepared to make excuses. The opposition is talking. The opposition is writing letters. The opposition is doing this, but the people aren't responding. So if they're doing all of this thing and the people aren't responding, what does that tell you all? The people have no interest in you. That is what it's telling you. Are you all not doing something to enhance the people to move? I came across the Nevis to do a little awareness march with you all, you know, because you all say people ain't doing this. And what you all do? You all campaign against the march. You all didn't come out and say, well, okay, let's see how things gonna happen and pick up from there and make good out of it. When I did my one-man march in Bastille, after the former administration denied my marching, Dr. Joe went on social media. Dr. Joe put a message. He said, let DJ Marisha march. It's his right to march. That's what Dr. Joe did. The second march around, while we at when we're at West Independence Square, waiting on Dr. Joe. When Dr. Joe showed up, what the then government did, they shut down the march. A march that should have gone from 3 to 6 was shut down at 5 p.m. They had the power. We could not do anything. I remember the Talk Puppy and Sam Conde telling me, Marisha, they can't stop you from march. They gave you a permit. Let's go and march. And I told them, I said, I'm not here to fight with the police. I was marching in solidarity with the police. So I'm not going to be fighting with the police. The message was sent, and that was good. You all see where they be now? Where they are now? Where's Timothy Harris today? Where's Sean Richards today? Where's Mark Granty today? They're in the opposition. They are in the opposition. All I'm hearing every time I'm listening to Millennium, you all make my stomach sick. Nevis people don't do this. Nevis people don't do that. Listen, in life is things that we don't do. If you love someone, you might not do certain things. I don't want certain things done, but you're going to compromise because you want it done. You want to have a good life. You cannot say, I'm not doing this, and the other party say, I'm not doing this. House mash up. If the people of Nevis wanted a change of government, and you in the opposition, whether NRP or who, was saying to the people, here is an option. Let's change the government. Government can change. Government don't change every 5 years. We have proven that in St. Kitts. I gave you all the scenario, you know. I would never forget that evening. Election was in 2020. I had Sam Kanda and Dwyer Stefan on this program. And when I was going on about elections in 2022, Dwyer, a very wise man, he couldn't figure it out. Dwyer turned to me and asked me, well, Jeffrey, election was just last year in 2020. We're in 2021. Well, how are you going to have elections in 2022? And I thought about it. And I said, Dwyer, there is some big stone around Old Road. And I use the terminology big stone because Curtis Cook used to call them big stone. I said, there's some big stone around Old Road. You think DJ Marisha can go around and pick up one of them stone, put in his vehicle and bring it to St. Paul's? And Dwyer said, no. I said, but if DJ Marisha get a 2-pound hammer, a chisel and a bucket and go around there every night and chisel off some of that stone, don't you think he could move it to St. Paul's? Dwyer said, yes. I said, well, that is the mission, election in 2022, and that's what I'm campaigning for. I'm not sure if you're going to have election in 2022, but that is what I was working towards. And I'm pretty sure you all know the end result of that, you know. A couple months later, 6 of them gone, you know. Timothy Harris went to the Governor General and told him he wants 6 at a blow. And the dominoes fall from there. On August 5th, 2022, we did that election. Dwyer changed my name to Troublemaker. Sometimes when you feel in a good mood, he still call me Jeffrey, but majority of the time he call me Troublemaker because he's of the view that I had to make some kind of trouble for the government to change. But I am not a troublemaker. As a matter of fact, he's also the one that tell me that there's a gentleman, I think he's John Lewis, who spoke about getting into good trouble. And for the life of me, you know, when I come here on a Wednesday evening and I listen to some of these, not listen, but read some of these comments where people are making excuses for government, their parties, I don't deal with excuses. I've said this to Dr. Joe, Prime Minister Joe, and everyone who will hear me. I am not here to make excuse for no politician. I'm going to call a spade a spade. If I see you doing something that is not right for the people or for what your mandate for your campaign, and I'm going to pull you up on it privately. And if we cannot get anywhere privately, you're going to come public and deal with it. I will not tell any minister of government what they want to hear. If I do not know the answer to anything, I'll go and investigate and come back. But as long as I am sure what I'm talking about, I can tell them exactly how I see it. And currently, I think we all can agree. Just as NRP is their biggest problem, the new Labour administration is their biggest problem. Because guess what? They have done so much good in a short space of time, but who they got out there singing their praises are constantly pumping what they have done. You can't just shoot a little thing here on social media, make a little appearance there, when you have the fake and the opposition out there with their falsehood, daily, nightly, hourly, minutely, flooding the airways with falsehood. But you're going to come with a little thing here on Facebook and say, this is what we did today. This is post-cabinet briefing. All of that is nonsense. You have to have a proper PRO system in place to promote what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to be lost in the woods. The propaganda machines out there doing their thing. You know, the propaganda machinery out there doing their thing. You know, I got a clip here I'm going to play. And the reason I'm going to play it is because I have to let people know that because you hear these things, meaning that what they're saying is true. You know, I heard some nonsense from Ian Patches Library, my good partner. By the way, we're friends again, we're talking good again. You know, so I'm a partner now again. But he talking some nonsense, which is not so. You know, it's not so. So let's take a listen to Patches because I want you all to understand that they know what they left in the system so they could prosecute it. But a lot of things has been improved. You know?
And some weeks ago, we brought you some information in respect of the deteriorating services being offered at the Joseph N. France General Hospital. Several issues were raised in relation to malfunctioning equipment at that institution. And issues relating to the malfunctioning of equipment at the JNF hospital continue to be raised by Straight Talk family. I don't know if you recall, we raised this particular issue about the equipment, or both the service and the equipment, when we learned of this, my Straight Talk family, from Natty Dread, I call him, who went public to say this.
Before Natty Dread say what they're saying, I want to explain to Brother Ian Patches Liberd and you, the online viewers. In a healthcare system, hospital in general, there are various departments, but let's focus on the maintenance department or the engineering department. You know, there is a reason why they have people such as myself working in these departments. You have boiler engineers, you have carpenters, you have electricians, you have plumbers, you have painters, you have general mechanics, you have biomedical engineering, you have biomedical technicians, and we could go on and on and on. The reason why you have these departments in a hospital is because things will break down. And once they break down, you have people to repair them. The problem is when you cannot get them repaired. In some countries, they have enough money to have stuff put aside. And even sometimes you have new equipment that put aside as backup. They sit there so long that when it's time to use them, they ain't not good to use. I got a little inside joke, you know. And I assure you women out there online, your women online could laugh about it. And I want to hear some facts. I need to see some facts online. Please, those of you that it happened to. Many women out there buy the nice sexy shoes them. And they pack them in the clothes closet or wherever and put them there for special occasion. And when they do put on the shoes will come off on them because it sit there so long that you get dry rotten and of no use. I know many of you that happen to. Even your dresses, you have them there so long that when you put them on your foot and you take 2 steps, they fall along, they mash up. So what make Ian Patches Liberd think that you have equipment at the JNF working day in, day out, and they would not break down? Why that going to become a big news item? Why that going to become a big issue to come to the country or to the world to tell them that equipment failure at JNF? That is why you got a maintenance team. That is what you have a biomed team. That is why people like DJ Marisha had a job in North America to repair stuff when they break. If they don't break, I don't have a job because there's nothing to fix. I hear Dougie used to call some of them hag and donkey and jackass. And more could understand what Dougie was talking about. Because we have to use our common sense. We have to know what to do and when to do it. And the next part of this clip, where the Dread is talking about not getting proper service at the JNF, it's still under investigation. And from what I understand, there was no official report made. So if you don't make an official report when you go to any institution or any place and you have a situation, you don't make a report, there's nothing to investigate. So the problems cannot be fixed. But since it's an issue now, the investigation is going unofficially to ensure that these things are not done, you know. So I do not know where Ira is sleeping or dreaming or what water he's drinking, but I show in Nelson Spring and I show he not drinking Ireland purified water. Because I will bet Ivor, if elections is called today on Nevis, I'll bet Ivor this. If elections is called today on Nevis, under the present regime of the NRP and the present regime of the CCM, and things don't change and attitude don't change, NRP won't win the election. NRP approach is wrong. And Ivor, I am telling you now, DJ Marish is telling you, if you support the NRP, tell them change direction. There's a lot of things that they're doing wrong. They're not a winning team the way that they're functioning. Talk does not win elections. You have to put in more than talk. You have to work. You have to roll up your sleeve. You have to put in the work and ensure every last vote is counted and make sure it's counted for the right person. A gentleman saw me on the sea bridge in 2022, you know, and he told me when he went into the booth to vote, he was looking to vote for NRP, but when he opened his eye, it was CCM pop up in front of him. He walked away from the paper, and then he went back and double check again and make sure he put his X the right place. Some people are so baffled when they walk into these booths in Nevis. They're seeing blue instead of green. So you all better change things. This thing about cleaning the electoral list, I am in favor of it, but that is not all it takes to win an election. It takes work. You got to have a plan and execute the plan. You cannot have people staying home because they're not happy with what's happening and expect to win an election. There's a couple of things why NRP lose the election. People did not have confidence in NRP, they didn't go out to vote. People did not have confidence in CCM, they did not go out to vote. But CCM was able to bring in enough people from outside to balance the wheel. And I'm still convinced that it was not a fair election. But if you guys don't stand up and do what you need to do, what do you think is going to happen? So let's continue listening to this clip there with Brother Patches.
In a situation on the 21st of October, I went to the hospital. They sent me on an X-ray. When I finished doing the X-ray, the doctor came back to me and told me that my foot them sprained. Well, I was home suffering for a week and days. But when I'm home and I have visitors come checking on me, and so the people keep telling me, that's the man now, something is strange. The foot them need to be looking after. So I went to Dr. Hendrickson and I told him the situation what I've been to. He called for the result. Now I get to know now. It ain't just one foot break, you know. It's two of them. So what is really going on in this place? How is it the Prime Minister is telling we about this machine that is working so nice and working so this and working so that, but yet we cannot get a good result? Something is strange. Something is very, very, very strange. And me, definitely, would like to get some answers.
What is amazing about this conversation with this gentleman? He's contradicting himself in so many different ways, because on one hand, he's saying that the machine, the X-ray, according to Dr. Hendrickson, said that his foot was broken. But he's saying the machine is not working properly. The machine did not take the X-ray. So, I mean, we have to really be consistent with our conversation. During my discussion with the DHI following this clip, I found out that the folks that read those X-rays, they are normally a 24-hour turnaround for that to happen. So I really would like to have a conversation with that gentleman to find out when and who told him that it was a sprayed foot, because I have seen people go into emergency rooms and because of the long wait, they walk out without getting proper information or the results. I'm not saying it happened in this case, and I'm not saying everything is perfect at the jail. But what I am saying is that people need to be honest and do the right thing. Because if I go to the JNF and had an incident, before I run to social media, I will go to the individuals that are responsible there and file a report and make sure it's followed. And there's a lot of things that is lacking in the healthcare system here in St. Kitts Nevis. I can say that personally. I have seen it. And as I said before, the opposition can prosecute that matter because they know what they left there. The hard truth is that the Prime Minister Joe and his people, as Minister of Health, is doing a damn good job trying to clear up some of those things. And the issue is that I don't think that whoever the PROs are is doing a great job at getting the information out to the general public. But things are a lot better than how they met it and continue to improve. So let's continue listening to Brother Patch's clip.
And everybody would like to get answers about our deteriorating services being offered, about deteriorating services being offered at that institution. We must recall the lies as well. We must recall the lies that were told by the Minister of Health and Prime Minister regarding the second-hand equipment that July told the country that were brand new. I'm sure we remember this, and we must never forget these things.
I want to get into the issue of the Ministry of Health, which I'll speak to as well. We have a number of critical things that have taken place there. For example, we have new dialysis machines, about 15 of them. I'll get into that have arrived. We'll have the official presentation tomorrow.
Yes, remember he told us he got brand new dialysis machines. But he was caught lying, and suddenly he retracted. He retracted without even apologizing, though. Right? He retracted and spoke about the vast majority of these machines. They were not new any longer, but he went on to say that the vast majority of these machines were new. And my Straight Dog family, I like to provide you with the evidence. How come I haven't found that? But he did.
You know, like I said, I won't even go any further with you tonight, Brother Patches, because it doesn't really make sense. You notice the situation is many of us lives in the diaspora. We try our best if we can get anything to assist back home. We get donations, we send them here. Some may be new, some may be old. The bottom line is they are a way of helping. And I think you being ambassador to the United Nations in New York for whether 2 years or whatever, the time that you spend on your podcast on a Monday night and on a Thursday night attacking everybody, I think you're going to use your connection at the UN, where they are very good at helping humanitarian efforts. If you do your work, you might have been able to solicit some of those machines that you're speaking about and help out the situation, but you did not do that. You was too busy cussing. I think I'm going to go back on either. I'm going to go back and forth with you this evening with this conversation because you're really losing me. As I said, I know you to be a sensible person. Let's use common sense. Whether there was empty chairs at the swearing-in ceremony or not is not here or there. The bottom line is system is in government. That is the bottom line. Even if nobody show up for the swearing-in, they're still in government. And they've been there since 2022. We are now in 2024. Let's focus on the things that need to be focused on. The low-hanging fruits, deal with them. Currently, the NRP is going through a crisis. And if you guys don't fix that crisis, in a couple of years when elections come again, you are not going to be ready for the election because you are concentrating on the wrong things. You all are focusing on the wrong things. Let's focus on where the changes need to be done. Deal with your issue, your internal issue. The NRP is not ready for an election. Deal with your internal issue. I could challenge anyone who could come and sit here in front of me and I could tell them where they're going wrong. If they want a debate, I can give them a debate. You cannot win an election under the conditions that they are right now. So there was not a full quorum at the swearing in. So there was some empty chairs. What is that doing? You need 3 out of 5 seats to hold office in Nevis. It was the easiest thing to get done. In 2022, it could not happen. You know? Cleon gone. Cleon is not a part of NRP, and that is a result of all of you. I was listening to the debate, and based on what Cleon said, I give Cleon wrong where she was wrong. But I have done my investigations recently, and Cleon is not at fault all by herself. The executive and members of NRP have their faults as well. You know, Cleon said some things, and you are jumping all over her because she said you all are losing thing. She know what she's talking about. She was there. All of you are gonna lose. If election called today, and Cleon run in that area, and NRP feel a candidate, NRP CCM might very well pull out a seat out of that area because you are splitting the votes. One of the things I could not understand, I listened to Carlisle speaking about Janice sending a letter to Cleon's office about recommending someone for the committee there. And Cleon sent the letter back to them. Well, Janice is that baff that she don't expect that kind of result. If you and Cleon could not agree on someone to be a senator, you all got to the point where she was expelled from the party. You have not addressed the issues. You all have not discussed the matter, fixed the matter. You expect Cleon to come and talk to you now about nominating someone for integrity committee? Something wrong with your head. You all have, I'm not going to come here and waste my Wednesday evening back and forth. You know. Tonight is the last. Ivor. Tonight is the last I'm going to entertain you with this conversation. Because you cannot tell me that you all not seen where you all making your simplest of mistakes. And you need to improve on them if you plan to win elections on Nevis. You have to. I have another conversation here to deal with in a bit. I'm not going to get to do all of my clips this evening because I realized that that time is running up on me. And by the way, Ivor, I'm going to tell you up front, you're going to get a little overtime tonight because I have some things I need to get out of the way. But let's go back to this CARICOM business. This is a matter that I think that we need to have a conversation on. And by the way, I just want you all to, you know, I reached out to Premier Brantley last week after I see those comments online to have a conversation with him to find out really if the problem is Premier Brantley or the people of Nevis. You know, I still hear him pick up his phone yet. So it looks like he's free to talk to me too. Eh? But at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about DJ Marisha. It's the people of Nevis you have to deal with. But someone sent me a message today from Brooklyn and explained to me that there's a conversation on radio in St. Kitts in regards to the CARICOM matter and the free movement in the region and this good stuff. Well, I am not going to get into my position and that. I understand there's going to be a meeting on the 15th with the heads of government to deal with that matter. But what I will do this evening, I will play Brother Marvin Hanley's conversation on his program And I will give you a song from the Black Stallion, and I'll give you a song from King Sobi, because they too had an opinion on the free movement in the Caribbean and what should be done. And as I said before, I live my life through the Calypso, the message, because a lot of them, they make a lot of sense. They teach us a lot of things. So let me first drop Mervyn Hanley, and then I'll come back to the Black Stallion and King Sobi, and we'll try and give it a run.
A few days ago, Prime Minister Mia Mottley, Prime Minister of Barbados, she announced that nationals of the CARICOM will have the ability to travel throughout the region by the end of March. So they're moving quickly, aren't they? During the closing of the news conference on the 4-day CARICOM summit in Georgetown, Guyana, according to Loop Caribbean News, Mottley stated that leaders had made the decision on Wednesday last week that they were on track. In July 2023, a meeting was convened in Trinidad and Tobago where regional leaders gathered for the 45th Conference of the Heads of Government. And during this conference, a deadline was established to conclude the process of enabling the free movement of CARICOM nationals. PM Mottley noted that leaders will meet again next week, that's March 15th. Before then, the remaining policy issues are expected to be settled, and she went on to list the policy issues and all of that. Currently, nationals enjoy the freedom to relocate within the region for a period of 6 months without any interrogation. Now, they're going to remove that because according to Prime Minister Mia Mottley, she elaborated on the objective of leaders to facilitate the unrestricted movement of nationals throughout the region, surpassing the 6-month restriction. She said that people have the right to move now for 6 months without questions. What we are talking about now is removing that 6-month constraint. The thing about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is that some of these things we are hearing from the media outlets like THG News today. We're just hearing CARICOM leaders, they go to these meetings. The thing though, with such a major decision, with such a life-changing decision, it's a game changer. How can leaders of the CARICOM go to these meetings and not consult with their own people? How can you leave Barbados, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Kitts Nevis, hop on a plane first class, and you go to these meetings that will change the entire development of your country and stability of your country, and not say anything to your people? People are only finding this out now. What the leaders of the CARICOM are planning to do by the end of March, yes, they had meetings last year. Okay, you announced in a press statement that you had meetings and this is what you decide. But did you come back to your people with a town hall to get any kind of feedback? You're just going to make decisions that people from all over the Caribbean can come to your country, can come to these people's country and stay there, live there, work there, while their own people can't get work? Now, who benefits from the full integration of movement of people within CARICOM? And I'm going to say this, one size doesn't fit all. Trinidad and them, they can handle this, but can an island like Nevis, St. Kitts, Antigua, can they handle that? So it cannot be one size fits all. So when these leaders are grinning and signing, are you thinking about your people and what you're about to do? What you're about to sign off on? Let me go back in history, because in the late 60s and early 70s, when larger countries within the region, countries like Jamaica and Trinidad, they were doing well economically, and the records are there to show that they wanted absolutely nothing to do with a single Caribbean economy. They didn't want to hear about Caribbean integration. They didn't want to hear about free movement. A matter of fact, the story of why the West Indies Federation failed is well told. But sadly, in a place like St. Kitts and Nevis, we can't ask the late, great Sir Robert Llewellyn Bratcher. We can't ask him. Now, the region's economies are not at the same strength. The opportunities for locals are not as bountiful in some countries. The percentage of skilled workers, the masters, the doctorates, and even first degrees, they are disproportionate when you compare larger countries to smaller ones. And moreover, attitudes towards Caribbean brothers and sisters haven't changed in some places, sadly. So while in an island like Nevis, Nevisians may be a welcoming paradise, they won't receive that welcome in other places. and many of our small island developing states, and we love to talk about small island developing states, we will surely feel the burden of this move. Struggling healthcare systems run the risk of crashing completely and failing to provide services at an acceptable standard to its own people. I understand that this is THG News today, but I have to give commentary on this because it bothers me what CARICOM leaders are about to do to its people. What about our education system? Become overwhelmed with increased number of students, ballooning classroom sizes, and limited resources can and will place learners at serious disadvantage. We talk about all kinds of things on social media, but these are the things I encourage our people to talk about. Call out your governments, hold them accountable, put their feet to the fire. Even for our own social safety nets are geared to and designed for the sole purpose of helping the most vulnerable among us have the undesired potential to become a full-blown welfare state program. Let's face it, many of these foreign nationals from places where poverty is ever increasing and opportunities are diminished, they will undoubtedly place severe strain on small island resources. So consider the impact on housing stock and home ownership for locals, the impact on job opportunities in a small and in some places shrinking job market. I have very little confidence that this move at this time serves the best interest of countries within the OECS, especially those of the small island developing states. Then there is crime. Right now, look at the islands, can't even control what we're dealing with right now. There is no secret that when it comes to the level of organized crime and social criminality, when it comes to the larger economies, have OECS leaders seriously considered the impact such could potentially have on your economy? Even now, many leaders struggle with their own island's crime. Just imagine thousands of migrants over 5 years from these larger islands, and among them hardened criminals looking an easy score. Just imagine what a travesty waiting to happen. To give unlimited access to our limited space and resources is a recipe for disaster. Too many things can go wrong. There are many things that ought to be fixed first. I do not support this move, and I find it disrespectful as well that our leaders feel compelled to just sign on to every and anything without the courtesy of consultation to your people. You still work for them. And that is why Antigua and Barbuda issued a press release saying, hold up. We good where we are right now, how things are going. And we don't think we want to be a part of this. That's what Antigua and Barbuda sent out in a press release late Sunday night. They don't want to be a part of this. They said when we are comfortable and we are in a better position, Antigua and Barbuda, when they're in a better position, then they will perhaps take part in this, come full throttle with this unrestricted free movement. So let us think about our healthcare system, educational system. Let us think about the electoral system. And speaking about the electoral system, some of these leaders, they only want this for politics, because of course, if you have a certain demographic or a certain group of people in your country that, these people they will be obligated to vote for the government in power. So some of these politicians, they're only thinking about politics. They're not thinking about what is best for the island. Every Caribbean national, especially in the small island developing states, you should rise up against this. You should speak out against this and say to your leader, your prime minister, your premier, your whoever, this should not happen. Do not allow this to happen. Because if you stay quiet, I can assure you, you will not only be struggling in years to come, but you'll be a stranger in your own land. And finally, speaking of that, it wasn't my plan to talk about this, but I'm seeing it here that Haiti is now under a 72-hour state of emergency, and this went to immediate effect as the government said it would set out to find the killers, kidnappers, and other criminals it said it had escaped in the attacks. So what's happening here? The Haiti's government, they imposed a curfew after a weekend of gang-led violence, and thousands of prisoners escaped after assaults on the country's two biggest prisons. Thousands. So you have murderers, you have robbers, you have all kind of criminals on the streets right now. Can't find them in Haiti. Well, we don't even know if they're in Haiti. And I will say this to end this program, to end THG News today. And I'm not looking down on any country or whatever the case may be. But as far as I can remember, and as far as I know, Haiti is a part of CARICOM.
Okay, so that was Brother Melvin Hanley with THG News, giving his view on CARICOM. But you know, sometimes our memories are very short, you know. I don't have the full story, and I cannot give you the full story this evening, but you could always Google, get information about when they was trying to form a federation, how some of those big countries did not want to support it because they figure places like St. Kitts, Nevis and them couldn't do nothing for them, and we're coming to get their oil in like Trinidad and those places. But even right there in Little Nevis, you know, as per the Constitution, there should be a tax sharing system, and everybody's supposed to put whatever taxes in the kitty and get what is due. I don't know if you guys can recall when the Four Seasons came on stream at Nevis. I remember people from St. Kitts, St. Paul's in my area going across the Four Seasons to work. Nevis was doing well. And the then NIA decided that they're not going to send any taxes down to St. Kitts. And they held on to their taxes and decided to do their own thing. Well, now they're struggling and they're demanding their fair share. So they always hear, one son a love so and love son a one so. Well, the Calypsonians, they will tell you, because the Calypsonians for years have been talking about unity. Unity is strength. And what have happened to these big countries with the good economy that figured that they was above the law and they don't want to merge with the other smaller islands? They're paying the price now, some 50, 60 years later. Well, St. Kitts economy, St. Kitts Nevis economy is doing well. And I can only say, if we're going to take that same approach, don't be surprised if we are dealt with the same result some 40, 50, 60 years down the road. So let me see if I could take a listen here to Brother Black Stalin and the man Soviet.
You try with a federation, the whole thing end in confusion. CARICOM and then CARIFTA, but somehow a spelling disaster. Mr. West Indian politician, I mean you went to a big institution, and how come you can't unite 7 million? When a West Indian unity, I know it's very easy. If you only rap to your people and tell them like me, them is one race, the Caribbean man, from the same place, the Caribbean man, that make the same trip, the Caribbean man, on the same ship, the Caribbean man. So we must push one common intention, it's for a better life in the region, for we women and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man. You say that the federation was imported quite from England, and you're going and form a CARIFTA with a true West Indian flavor. But since CARIFTA started running, morning, noon and night all are hearing, it's just money speech them prime minister giving. But I say no set of money could form a unity. First of all, your people need their identity like one race, from the same place, that make the same trip, on the same ship. So we must push one common intention, it's for a better life in the region, for we women and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man. Caribbean man, the Caribbean man.
Man, Black Stallion. Out of Tobago by way of TNT. The Caribbean man. Rest in peace, my brother. Powerful song. Great lyrics.
CARICOM is wasting time. The whole Caribbean gone blind. If we don't know from where we come in, then we can't plan where we go in. That's why some want to be communist, brother, some want to be socialist, and one set a religion to add to the foolishness. Look, a man who don't know his history, can't form no unity. How could a man who don't know his roots form his own ideology? Like one race, from the same place, that make the same trip, on the same ship. So we must push one common intention. It's for a better life in the region, for we women and we children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man. The Federation done dead, and Carifta going to bed. But the cult of the Rastafarian spreading through the Caribbean. It have Rastas now in Grenada, it have Rastas now in St. Lucia. But to run Carifta, yes, you getting pressure. If the Rastafari movement spreading and Carifta dying slow, then it's something them Rastas on that them politicians don't know. That there's one race from the same place that make the same trip on the same ship. So they pushing one common intention. It's for a better life in the region, for the woman and their children. That must be the ambition of the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man, the Caribbean man.
Yes, that's the song of the Black Stallion there, speaking about the Caribbean man. And like I said, these Calypsonians have been campaigning for years for Caribbean community to come together as one for better life for the Black race. And, you know, I listened to Brother Marvin's speech, and I don't have a problem with him giving his opinion, but I think we are being a bit, what word can I use? I don't want to use the wrong word for your brother Hanley, because I feel your pain, I understand what you're saying, but it's more like a scare tactic that is going on out there because one opposes a particular situation. We have been traveling to countries over the years. Many of us leave St. Kitts, go to the Virgin Islands, go to Tortola, go to Anguilla, go to St. Martin for a better life, some in Jamaica. We have kitchen and division all around the world. And people are not going to just jump up on a plane or a boat and come to the region without getting properly checked out and, you know, settle in, whatever the case might be. So I would prefer to see a different approach with this thing than to come out there and just hammer with it like it's so bad for the island. Yes, we all have criminals in every country. We also have some very talented people, and some of those talents we can use within our space. So I would agree with you, Brother Marvin, that whoever is leading these conversations, whether the Prime Minister or representative, they need to come and have town hall meetings with the citizens and give updates and get the citizens' input before signing off on such of agreement. You know, the people determine the destination of their country. So I don't have a problem with that. And I don't think that come next Friday, Dr. Joe will be going to, Prime Minister Joe will be going to any meeting and signing off on a document like that without consulting the citizens of St. Kitts Nevis. Because if he do that, then that speaks a lot about his leadership skills. So I would say to give the Prime Minister the opportunity to do his work. And when we see things not going the way it's supposed to, then we can jump on it, but don't be so quick to knock down something even before you give it a try. As a matter of fact, my boy Sobe there out of St. Paul's, I think he was back in 2000. He sang a song about coming together, the new Millennium and Caribbean people coming together. So let me see if I can find the track here by King Sobe.
Position in this global economy. We are not equipped now to benefit. We have no power, we are fragmented. Our citizens are defranchised. Crime and violence are on the rise. Corruption silencing our voice while our country's gone deeper and deeper in debt. The IMF tightening the nooses around our necks. America threatening with cheap rider agreement. We open our eyes and see that our strength lies in unity. I say we got to come together. Come together. We got to come together to make things better. One government, one citizenship. Come together. One market, we need one currency. Come together. One people, one voice, one destiny. Come together. For economic prosperity, we gotta come together now. Economic force to compete in the global court. North America has done likewise to control industries and supplies. In all these initiatives, the Caribbean was excluded. Now we find ourselves pleading to the world court for the market that was once open to us are now closed. Though they call us allies, they cheat us like four. If we do not alter our course, it gon' be bankruptcy for sure. I say we got to come together. Caribbean, come together. We got to come together to make things better. One government, one citizenship. Come together. One market, we need one currency. Come together. One people, one voice, one destiny. Come together for economic prosperity. We gotta come together now. Hey! save the queen, but what save the soul indeed? When Sophia Hilly rocked, Mother England turned her back. He took the other Caribbean isles to assimilate them in the land, put in a strain on the budget. Still they willingly accept while America was fighting to adapt their best. As ashes were burning, more children to death. If they were of the Carthaginian descent, they would have been rescued immediately in the strong arms of liberty. We got to come together. Caribbean, come together. We got to come together to make things better. One government, one citizenship. Come together. One market, we need one currency. Come together. One people, one voice, one destiny. Come together. For economic prosperity, all of we got to come together now. Hey! Aye.
Yes, that's the song of the man King Sobedi out of the Republic of St. Paul, St. Kitts. And he said the Caribbean need to come together now. This was during the days of the Millennium. You know, as I said, these Calypsonians, they are historians, they study their craft, and the message for me is always in the music. I mean, King Sobedi also sang about law and order, you know. But, you know, we have a problem in the Caribbean as well. I do not know in the other islands, but I know in St. Kitts, there was always a stigma. If you are not from the city, you can't represent the country. Whether football, cricket, you cannot come from the rural area and participate when you have sometimes the best in everything coming out of the rural area. I think we all know which village the former leader of St. Kitts was, Robert Llewellyn Batcher. St. Paul's man, you know. The Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, St. Paul's man, you know. DJ Marisha, the root, St. Paul's. We got King Sobedi, we got some real talent in St. Paul's. But for whatever reason, we get the fight down, you know. And I'm going to drop another track by the King Sobedi. You know, King Sobedi have produced some music over the years. I don't think he get a fair deal. He have given me so many stories about not driving and have to go into Bastille from St. Paul's, early o'clock, get there before anybody else, and waiting to get his songs rehearsed for Carnival. And sometimes he's the last person to get rehearsed, while people from town who are driving, who are close to home, basically they get rehearsed ahead of him. And he got to now struggle to get back to St. Paul. So he got really disgust and came out of the music business, but that's a good Calypsonian that we lost there. With what we are getting today, some of the nonsense I'm hearing for Sugar Mass, people like King Sobedi and Mighty Pat and the man Glenn Green and Mighty Freddie and these guys, the Ranger, you know, they need the man, the Mighty Loaf there. We have lost some great Calypsonians. I mean, my boy Richie Bunting, these guys, when they're in the arena, Sire, Godfrey, you know, they really need to take a look at what we are doing to our country. And as Marvin spoke earlier in the clip there, we have so much, you know, we have so much that need to be improved before we get caught up with other countries or other areas that we need to fix. And I mean, if we cannot fix our little problem within St. Kitts and Nevis, let's be realistic. How are we going to deal with other islands? If we cannot get along, if we cannot fix this little misunderstanding, which is a simple misunderstanding, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, I don't see them having a problem. Politics and politician is the divide. If we cannot fix that little problem, how are we going to be a part of our CARICOM community and survive. So, you know, like I said, the Calypsonians have sung the songs. They have give their views, and I'm pretty sure this conversation we're going on for some time. As a matter of fact, following the meeting on the 15th, next Friday, I have someone booked to come and speak on the topic on the 20th, which is the following Wednesday. Hopefully by then we will have some better information to speak on, because it's not just about people coming to your island and settle down and taking your jobs and pushing you out. You know, it's a lot more to it than that. It's a holistic process. There's a lot more in terms of sharing, shipping stuff, importing stuff. It's a big package that they're working on. So let's see how that goes. But let me see if I can find another song here by the King Sobi. King Sobi sang a song here some time ago about law and order that we really need in our beloved federation. Well, Sobi, that's the song I gave you? No, man, Sobi, that's the song I asked you for. How you come to that song? King Sobi? That's my big song. So let's change back to the song that I'm looking for, because that's my big song there, Brother Sobi. Let me say, you know, big. All right, Kobe. Since that's a song you want to drop, I'm going to drop that, because it's your big tune. I'm going to drop that one. I'm going to drop that one. It's your big tune. This one is called Carnival. Big tune. This one is called Carnival. Wanna touch the man, Sassio? The man King Champion. Nature. The man Slowly. Baggy. Carnival is very beautiful, 'cause it relaxes our soul and makes one rejuvenate.
kaleidoscope of colors. Your costume glittering in the burning sun. Your maca jumbies dancing 20 feet still. Your bull and clown man, they surely warm my heart. Carnival, all I waited to hear. The new Calypso releases, jamming on the ear. Sounds of domestic and regional affairs, sounds that burn the party atmosphere. Sounds so comical, it make you laugh and cheer. And when it's time to call the monarchy, no controversy, everybody don't agree. That is yours truly, King Sobe. Dibilumbe.
Yes, the sound of the King Sobe. That one is called Carnival. But the one I was trying to pull earlier was right there hiding in the basket. This one is for the law enforcement, the law officers out there, civil servants, the folks that are doing the good thing for the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. This one is called Law and Order, the King Sobe. Love the track.
Take a stroll on any road, you find the youth operating whole, engaging illicit act as though they are about the law. Totally disrespectful, foul language fill the air. If I dance into the night, I cannot let down in my bed. And law enforcement, I give the offenders priority. No use complaining, the innocent man is held hostage.
is asking you.
It's time for we to come and go because we all in a drifting boat. All hands on deck are in flight and we shall all end up on a rocky shore. And if this boat have to sink, what a disaster it will be. It's time that we all should come and join in the unity. Then we could rise up like the shining stars we are. If we only put parties and politics aside and let us be all for one, let us be one for all. Oh, come on, brothers, and take my hand. The best is still yet to come. Let me lead you to the promised land. To those who hold the power, who hold the power in their hands. Bring law and order to this blessed land. And let there be zero tolerance to those who violate. God, those predators have us in this voice, disrupting the quality of life. They want to spoil this little paradise. No way!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. The King Slowly. Girl, let me go.
Can't spoil the country, can't mash up the country, you
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I want to say good evening to the man Thaddeus Depot. So how you doing? Sister Celine Tobias, how you doing? The man Junior Greer, how you doing? I also want to touch Sister Ann Farrell Smith. We're going to drop something from the voices over there in the ghetto. This one is going to be coming from my girl there, the late great singing Sandra out of the Tobago area. I want to say good evening to Mommy and the crew there in Tobago. How you guys doing? Hope all is well. Missionary Deborah Wallace, the man Roger Wallace, Brother Victor Beard, Gloria Beard, Sister Melissa, how you doing? Over there in Trinidad, the man Donnell and Sister Chanel, how are you doing? How are the grandkids? Hope all is well, Sister Kia. I also want to touch my daughter there in the Ohio area, Sister Rochelle Marisher and crew. Hope you all are doing well. This one is a live performance here by Sister Singing Sandra. I just love this song. Lyrically powerful, lyrically strong. The voice is coming from the ghetto. All Tobago massive. The man Curtis Group.
The sun rises slowly over the hills. Everywhere is golden sunlight, but still, most nights with satyrs are crowded. Their days and dark days are shrouded. They don't smile and they never will. Only vultures get their fill. Empty promises is what they get. No running water from year to year. Hearts that no one desire. That if there is a Messiah, someday hear the whispered prayer. Come on, always beer and scanty. 10 people in a one-bedroom shanty. Boss to sell on the pavement. No vacancy, no employment. Get a firecracker from gunshot. The dust blow and things get hot. Afraid to look out my window. So your voice is strong. I hear you. Sing the chorus. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh. Voices from the ghetto. Crying. Crying. They're crying. Yeah. Voices from the ghetto.
Start it out. Country about
Mothers does just hold the head and ball. And them woman stronger than a wall. A big pusher iron your daughter. Son in jail for manslaughter. Too bad for you, hear them bad boys so bail. That's the black man's choice. Like Shadow say, poverty is hell. Your little girl child belly start to swell. Some say life is a cycle, but don't draw she no circle. Now will it all end, only time could tell. Outside the siren keep howling, inside your belly will growling. Oh, this way very often, since you mentioned a coffee. One night, in bed you're sleeping, next night is a wake that you're keeping. So you pray to win the lotto, not to hear them voice. What they doing?
Oh yeah!
I hear you. They're still crying. Yeah. Crying. Yeah, crying. 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 Yeah.
Come on. The former community administration left us crying in our communities. The ghettos. Gotta clean them up. Gotta help them. A lot of people crying out.
With tented pride they sold their on. Revolution made politicians born. And often their tragic story brings a journalist glory. No wonder the beauty world was scorned. Since the day they born, some call them rebels without a cause. These social victims of unjust laws. But yet they christen the heroes.
Oh yeah.
Renegades, desperados, forever knocking on heaven's door. Hear me. Steel and music shatters the silence. I'm on it to conquer the violence. Big men run when cops approach, fighting for scraps with the cockroach. Young Turks, they're tough protected. Almost every young girl expecting. So tomorrow, best is tomorrow. There'll be another child to crying. 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 Yeah, crying. Crying. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's all about our people.
Yeah.
Gotta clean up our communities. Help the woman. Help the needy.
Social amenities, Lord heaven knows. Opportunities, well, them always close. Can't get walk once in white collar. If I can't stretch me dollar, later from me crap or smoke me pipe. Sandra shorter than from gripe. Life does rape dignity and pride. Till there's only bitterness left inside. And every day is a hustle. Arguments are settled with muscle. Till you're 6 feet deep by 3 feet wide. Watch. Children, should life keep on drifting? Something they're smoking or sniffing. Or maybe they're trying to forget this life of misery and regret. No one to come to the rescue except Capleton and Bushu. So they boom boxes the Lego. To drown out voices in to the crying. They're still crying. They're crying and they're crying. Crying and they're crying. Yeah.
Voices from the ghetto.
Crying.
Crying.
Voices from the ghetto. Yeah.
Yes, that's the sound of sister singing, Sandra, the late great Sandra there, singing Life from the Ghetto. We know how that go. Folks, don't forget, we have promotions coming up on the 29th of March, Friday the 29th of March. That is Good Friday. We're going to be paying tribute to the man, Leighton Garpy, Skip Williams. We're going to be making sure he gets his legacy. It's going to be a fun day over there in Newton Ground at the Breeze Park. We'll be featuring a 2020 cricket match amongst dominoes and other activities. Entertainment will be provided by the Firehouse Sound, DJ Sugar Bowl, and the Small Axe Band. It's going to start from 12 p.m. until we'll have a lot more to tell you in the coming weeks. Lots of fun, lots to eat and drink, football, cash giveaways, tug of wars. A lot of things going to be taking place. So you bring out your kids, bring out your family, make it a date, make it a day. That's over there in Breeze Park, Newton Ground. We're going to drop one more track here by my guy there, my partner there, the man Sugar Allos. This song, lyrically, it holds me just as much as Arrow's song, Arise, holds me. Because the signs of the ends of time is right here in front of us and we can't even see it. Some of us think that we're here to stay forever. We're just passing through. And I'm asking folks to just make a positive contribution in life. Help your neighbor, help the kids in the community, and let's leave the islands, leave the lands, leave the world better than we met it. So let's take a quick listen to the man, Sugar Allos. Sister Beverly, this one for you. How are you doing? Hope all is well.
Study the whole universe. How come this world gets so corrupt and cursed? Things have changed up, cause it's not life before. Man's life in turmoil, with disaster and war, for sure. With the nuclear this and the nuclear that, they intend to smash down the world flat, flat. And they don't care about the master's plan, cause every day man seeking to destroy man. Put a hand, cause this was never meant to be.
Oh no.
Man's supposed to dwell in harmony, but because of selfish ways, man create things to shorten his days. Cause in discomfort and strife, what a life, what a life. Cause in this comfort and strife, what a life in these times. But these are the signs of the end of time.
The man Sugar Allos, speaking to the young kids in our community. Change your direction. Things will get better.
Mankind had behold the first sunrise. This world to him was like a paradise. But up to now, to his ways he never take heed. Now he's at war with himself because of his greed. I read, when they dropped the bomb in Hiroshima, in history it is the world's disaster. It's in record how millions of people dead. Yet every day, man improving a new warhead. They dread, cause this was never meant to be. Cause in this comfort and strife, what a life in these times, but these are the signs of the end of time.
Stop it! Everything's bad. What's it, Let's Go Lawrence?
La la la
What's it, Ike? Oh, you're back on that. Last time. Always my girl. Debbie.
Mankind of himself create dread disease. Talking about gonorrhea, AIDS and herpes. Now we searching desperately to find the cure. And up to now, man still hasn't passed first floor. Well, what more? The Bible said that when God made woman, He specified she was man's companion. Some men turn away from her beauty and perfection, showing us plain that they prefer live with a man in this land. But this was never meant to be. Man's supposed to dwell in harmony, but because of selfish ways, man create things to shorten his days. Cause in this comfort and strife, what a life, what a life. Cause in this comfort and strife, what a life in these times, but these are the signs of the end of times.
Come on. Sister, here's the glass one. I owe me one. Right. All right. Sister Fontaine. And it's Morton.
I pray that one day this nonsense will cease. Mankind must return to uttermost peace. Cause the penalty is death and destruction. Man, know thyself, stop causing more complication. Change your plan. It's time the world leaders come together. Stop trying to destroy one another. Doesn't matter if you're from England or Haiti, America, Iraq, Beijing or Germany, sign the treaty. Cause this was never meant to be. Man's supposed to dwell in harmony, but because of selfish ways, man creates things to shorten his days. Cause in this comfort and strife, what a life, what a life. Cause in this comfort and strife, what a life in these times, but these are the signs of the end of time. What a life, what a life. Cause in this comfort and strife, what a life.
Yes, the man Sugar Allows there. What a life, you know. We have to pay attention to these Calypsonians because these Calypsonians, they definitely know what they're talking about. They're historian. As a matter of fact, let me take some time out as we're going to be looked to get out of here in a minute. Let me drop some ads here for my boy Carbo, Sister Carmen and crew. So, Brother Carbo, I hope you're online. I hope you put your address in the thread. You know, don't forget Carbo's Delights has gone from goat water and boiled fish and green banana, you know, fungi and fish sticks over the menu, top the menu right now. So I want to big up my boy Carbo. Just check him every Saturday. Just take a listen to his ad.
Carbo's, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treats. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Carbo's Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Carbo's Fungi and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Cabo's and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabo's, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over. Food all over. You got the food all over.
And it's real food over there. Real food when you go to Cabo. Tasty. Just want to big up my brother Cabo. Let's take a listen to Sister Carmen here as well. Right over there in Shirley Lane, right across from the entrance to the ferry terminal. The west side of the ferry bus terminal there in downtown Boston.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and Sundays. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
I could attest to that, you know, because when you go by Carmen there and get your ribs, the meat fall off the bone in your hand, the oxtail, everything is well put together, a fish, a breaded chicken and stuff like that. You don't want to miss it. Give it a try. Just tell Carmen DJ Marisha sent you.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishall's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishaw, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Log on.
Seriously.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishall's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishaw, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Log on.
Yes, as we come to a close this evening, as we get ready to drop the unofficial national anthem of the Federation of Nevis, done by the late great the man King Arrow. This one is called Arise. Just before do that, let me remind you to support Island Purified Water. That's the good water people there at Newton Ground. The man, Mr. Powell and team there, scatter. Whenever DJ Marisha is in the area, they make sure they keep the DJ hydrated. So I want to thank them for their continued support of the DJ Marisha platform. Also want to touch my cousin there, Gloria Hutchinson, there, Smart Fit over there in the old Simaco building there next to Skelec on Central Street. A lot of new clothing are there, shoes and everything. Just check Gloria, tell her DJ Marisha sent you. There's also a store down there on Keon Street, right off 4th Street there, just below the gas station. Just check and ask for Smart Fit. They'll direct you in that area. Also want to send you across to the Frigate Bay area. Check my boy there, brother Mike and Angie there at the Jamrock restaurant and bar there in Frigate Bay. Lovely food. Check them out. Keep the flames burning. Business is kind of slow at the moment for those restaurants in that area. So I encourage you, whenever you have a chance, check out Brother Mike. Just let him know DJ Marisha sent you. And don't forget to run up the hill by Brother Marshall as well. Lovely food and that. And check out my Brother Marshall. I want to say good evening to my boy there, Brother Benter in the Virgin Islands, my cousin there, Kent Bernier, Sister Pamela Bernier, how you doing? My uncle Eustace celebrated birthday yesterday. I forget to ask him how old he is now, but I know he might give me a few choice words when I ask him that question. But happy belated birthday, Brother Eustace. Hope all is well. My Aunt Susan also, God bless her soul, celebrated birthday yesterday, which would have been Eustace's sister. But both born the same date, different year, same mother, same father. What a clash. I want to big up my sister there, Esther Hutchinson. Her sad day in Tortola, but the Muckish and the kids. Hope all is well. The man George Dennis Morris there in the Virgin Islands. The man Briscoe. I also want to touch George Morris over there in the Florida area. Want to touch my boy Twinkie. How are you doing? The man Craig. Sugars, hope all is well. Sister Kathleen Master, I hope you guys are okay. You know, I forget to speak about this in the earlier part of the show, but I'm glad I remembered. I went and visited an old friend there on, I think it was Monday afternoon. My brother Oliver, Mr. Maynard there in the Millennium area. For those of you who would know Oliver, Oliver has done everything. The only thing Oliver has not done is become Prime Minister. Oliver was in the Virgin Islands, in the States, in the US, basically all the states. He's back in St. Kitts. He's up there in age, 80 plus. Health is deteriorating. And over the years I have known Oliver, I have never won a conversation with Oliver because his voice is just always penetrate above mine. But when I went there on Monday, conversation was great, but Oliver is getting down. So I'm just saying to you good folks who might know Oliver and wants to visit, I'm pretty sure his wife Mary would not mind. He would welcome the visit. Don't wait until it's too late to say, well, I wish I had gone and visit Oliver. So I am giving you all an invitation to go across it to Millennium and check out the man. And his brother and I always have a debate about who is the original ninja, because when I went to St. Thomas, I remember seeing Oliver with a white vehicle doing his gypsy taxi out of Pueblo over there in St. Thomas, and the car mark was Ninja. And then I saw Ninja on the bus in St. Kitts, so I always call Oliver Ninja 1. No, I call Bombo Ninja 1, and I call Oliver the original ninja, but Bombo still believe he's the original ninja. But for me, Brother Pash, I call him Oliver, is the original ninja. You guys should know Oliver well. Oliver feed many people from St. Paul's, baking, went to Sandy Point Bake, has kids in Sandy Point, St. Paul's. Sister Jennifer, I hope she and her sisters got back safely to their destination. We left the Federation together yesterday. And I also met them at the house when I went to visit Brother Oliver. Very lovely folks, very nice kids. You know, I also want to thank the good people at American Airlines and the folks. Keep up the good work. I see some improvement. Keep doing it. You know, when I left St. Kitts, hadn't I utilized the services of the wheelchair system and the speed cars to get through Miami, I would not have made it to New York last night because the lines were so long. The airport is like I was walking 3 miles to get to my gate, my connecting flight. So I want to thank those good folks at the American Airlines to speed me through the immigration process, the customs process, and to get to my connection. Only to get to my connection on time and find out that the flight was delayed because of bad weather at JFK here in New York. So leaving St. Kitts last evening, never get to my final destination here until sometime around 2 o'clock New York time, which would be 3 o'clock St. Kitts time. You guys might have seen me on my phone a while ago when I started. Well, that was my son decided to call and chastise me for not calling him to let him know my destination and whether I was safe or not. So I had to let him know that got in too late to call him and then get caught up doing my work and stuff today. So didn't really have time to call anyone. But for all of you who concerned about my safety and health, I just want to say I appreciate you. Sister Hazel Claxton, I call her today knowing I'm going to get cussed off for not calling and whatever. And she did give me the lipping, but all is well. It's good to be back to see my baby girl. My baby girl just miss her daddy. And I look forward to hanging with her before I leave the area. In the meantime and between time, like I always say to you good folks, you know, the song that is coming up to close out this segment of this program, it's a very lovely song. Musically, you would want to dance. I know Hazel's gonna dance, but I plead to you as usual to listen to the lyrics. If we just abide by the lyrics of this song, St. Kitts Nevis could be so much better. I want to big up my boy Eustace Hendricks there over there in the Houston area. The man Lord Kent, Brother Kent, Sister Debbie and crew. Also want to thank my nephew there, Brother Glenville Lawrence, for continuing to put my clips together and keep things going for me to come here on a Wednesday evening to discuss and have, as Brother God call it, parliament with you folks. I also want to thank my engineer Ike for his continued support. Without Brother Ike, this program will not be anything. So Brother Ike, thank you as usual for your dedicated support. Sister Cora Bennett, thanks for your continuous support and everything that you have done to keep the program alive. Sister Rosita Ponte, not forgetting you. Folks, don't forget this Friday will be the funeral service of Sister Annie, the mother of Jed and Ivy. Is going to be over there at the Mount Carmel Church there on White Plains Road. Let me try and find the information here that I can give you. The folks, the address who might be taking the bus or the train or the plane to get there. Yes, it's going to be Anne Luella Wellman. The service will be this coming Friday, March 8th, at the Mount Carmel Pentecostal Church, 3080 White Plains Road, Bronx, New York, 10467. Viewing is from 5 to 7 p.m. Service is at 7 p.m. I want to also touch my girl, dear sister, Josa Buchanan. Hope all is well with you guys. Sister Yoni Mitchum and crew. I want to touch you folks there in the UK. Sister Yvonne, Sister Millie, Sandra, and crew. Also want to big up my boy there, Brother Jerry Hutchinson, Jerry Blois and team there, the man Osbot. Want to touch my cousin there, Brother Bernard Clark, the St. Kitts, Sister Alice Clark, how you guys doing? Senator Joy Clark, Sister Mary Clark, ma'am, thank you. While I was in the Federation, Sister Clark make sure that there's something for me to eat on a Sunday. So I want to thank Sister Mem and Theo Clark for providing me with my meal on Sunday. You know, some people just see me around and think that I'm going to survive without some food in my stomach. But some people do stop to think about making sure that the DJ is okay. So Mem and Theo, thank you guys for your continuous being nice. The man Taju, hope all is well with you. And want to again tell you guys, March 29, mark the date. Come on down to Breeze Park, Newton Ground, and hang with my boy Gappy. I want to say good evening to my boy there, Brother Julian Pemberton. How are you doing? The man Austin Williams, Laura, Sharon Smitten and the crew. Brother John, hope all is well with you guys there. How about my girl there, Fiona? Hope all is well with you guys over there in the UK. So let's drop this track by the late great King Arrow and call it a night. The Mighty Pat, the man Jerome Vanterpool. Hope all is well with you and the family there in the UK. This one gonna take us out of here. And this one is called Arise.
Country dying and never lend a helping hand. Would you see your children's future dwindling, creating much disillusion? Or would we watch on idly, disregarding our self-sufficiency? Maladministration building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. nation, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. So rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, and that's the wrap for this evening. The country is yours, all yours. Want to big up my uncle there, brother Uncle Joseph there, Joseph Emmanuel down at the Garby's Estate, the Mill House Guest House. Don't forget, if you're in need of a party spot, night place to stay, check out Uncle Joseph there. His number is 869-668-1392. That's 869-668-1392. Uncle Joseph will be happy to accommodate you. Just let him know DJ Mauritius sent you. Until such time and between time, look forward to seeing you next Wednesday, same place, same time.